Hi and welcome to Diffemerember, your daily ephemera inspiration in December. My name is Luisa Heinzel and in collaboration with 49 Dragonflies, I'm showing you some easy and fun ways to make your own junk journal ephemera out of basic supplies. Today's prompt is snow and cigarette or tea card. To be honest, when I've started junk journaling, I had absolutely no idea what a tea or a cigarette card is. And some really cute people overseas helped me out to, figure that out, what that is and where you can get it. Here in Austria, or I can say in Europe in general, it's really hard to get such cards. If you perhaps are wondering where you can get them, please check out all of those online flea markets, all those online apps where you can get all those second-hand things. And then just search for tea card or cigarette card. And sometimes you will find some, but please make sure that you don't pay a too high price. There are some people out there who are trying to, make money with this vintage stuff. So please compare the prices really, really well. I would like to make some snowy pockets today with the help of these materials that I'm showing you here. Some fluffy yarn and ribbon and that stuff. Here's some things that I normally use for making some dangles or tassels and that stuff. And these little pockets that I've shown you come from my hubby. He is playing the guitar, and in these pockets, those guitar strings normally are packed. If you don't have cigarette or tea cards, of course you can make your own, and that's also the idea behind Diffemerember, to make your own junk journal ephemera if you don't have access to those special things. I have my digital printable postcards here. This set is called Survived Volume 1, and I have a little goodie for you. At the moment, there you can get 30% discount on this set. The link is down below in the description box. And I'm using this here in this video to show you that you can really easily make your own cigarette or tea cards. I've just cut the size of my original card, but I think there are no special measurements for such a tea or cigarette card. As you can see, my originals also are a little bit different, so I don't care about the measurements. I want a rectangle and that's all. And I think those tea cards are a little bit longer than the cigarette cards, so I think there are no special measurements. I think perhaps it depends to the brand where those cards come from, but do it like you want it. We want to have fun and we don't want to stress ourselves with measuring or thinking about those stuff like measurements too much. Here I'm trying to find some matching colors, and I came to the idea that those blue cigarette cards with the blue flowers and also those with this turquoise frame would match my project the best. Blue is a really cold and frosty color, even if those flowers, of course, are not growing in the winter, but I only want to have this feeling that these colors are giving you when you look at the finished project. Hopefully that makes sense. So I've chosen those here, and I want to mix them up a little bit so that you also can see some variations of the different images on the cards. And these cards, the originals, have this golden frame, and of course I want to have this on my printable as well. So I'm just taking a piece of paper, laying this on top here to get a golden frame with some gilding wax. Please protect your table. I'm just realizing that here. So please put another paper underneath so that you don't get the gilding wax to your table, and then you can just rub over this with your finger. Alternatively, you can also use some golden acrylic paint or anything else that's shiny and golden. Of course, you could also make a black frame or a frame that you want. In this case, I'm trying to imitate my original cards. So if you perhaps have one or two original cards, or you have seen a picture somewhere, you can also imitate that, of course. And my tip is, try to get this frame really, really thin. Otherwise, it looks a little bit strange. Here, by the way, is the next letter for our giveaway. If you've never heard about this giveaway that's running here on my channel until December 25th, then please check out the info box. You can win a really cool prize. So I think it's a cool prize. Check out the info box if you don't know how to enter. And here I'm taking my guitar string package and I'm trying to open it. So here, this was really easy. I could just, take this off really carefully. Of course, if you want to use something else, an envelope or another packaging, you have to try if it's possible to take this apart. And I'm only doing this because I want to sew with my sewing machine on the front side later. I went a little bit more difficult way here because I wanted to use these packages that I already have. Of course, you can also fold your own envelope, and before gluing it together, you can sew what you want to sew, of course. I think that makes sense. So let's start with the printables. I think this already looks really cute, and when I saw this, I was sure that this project would be, ending in a way that I can be satisfied with it, and that's the main thing, I think. Junk journaling is all about being satisfied in the end, having fun, playing around, and sometimes also feeling like a child and trying out different things, playing with different materials, and this joy that you can have in the end, I think, is the most important thing about junk journaling. So let's try to make a little collage here, and in this case, I'm following a tip that Barbara gave us. She said in one of her videos, try to make a collage by putting your focal point there where you want to have it, and then put the other things below. So I'm trying to arrange my pieces of fabric and lace here around this focal image. And I also, when I have some of the scraps laying down here, glue this thing only in the middle so that the edges are still loose and I have the chance to put something underneath. But the pieces that I already have here are in the place where I want them, so that it is not too hard to glue your layered pieces back together later. So I think that's a really, really cool tip. So thank you, Barbara. That's really helpful. And I've also tried to get some of my fabric and lace pieces below the picture and some on top. And when I have sewed this together, it looks like this. I think this zigzag stitching gives this card a really cool frame. I really like that. Of course, I've used a white yarn in my sewing machine so that this snowy, wintry effect comes out a little bit more. Now we have this. And of course, we can do that with the blue cards as well. Here you can see that. I did that out of camera because I think you got the idea. I made it in the exactly the same way like the other ones with the women on top. And I think the difference between those little pockets is, on the one hand, really big because we have flowers and women mixed. But at the same time, they look similar and cohesive because of the same collaging technique. And I really like to do that. And that's also, I think, a cool trick. If you are perhaps a beginner in junk journaling, then you can do this trick. Make something with the same elements and at the same time use different focal points, and then you have a really cool series of ephemera in the end. As you could see, I've just glued my little pockets back together so that I now can start decorating and adding the finishing touches. I have this cool ribbon here. I don't know the English word for that, but you can see this looks like snow, and I think many of you use this kind of ribbon for their Christmas journals, and I think that's a really cool idea, because every time you see these little pong pong thingies, you think, oh, it's snowing. So I'm trying to get this as my dimensional layer to my little pockets, even if I know that this will get a little bit bulky later. When I put this pocket into my junk journal, I know at that spot the journal will get a little bit bulky, but I don't care about that. I wanted to have these little pong-pongs there. And if you don't put too much layers, I think it's still possible to put such a thicker thing into your junk journal. And here we have the next letter for the giveaway. Please write that down, and hopefully the sentence makes some kind of a sense at this point. If you have followed this series, then you should have more letters, and perhaps you can build a sentence already. So as I said, if you don't know what I'm talking about, please check out the info box. There's every information for this giveaway that you need. And now here I thought something is missing, so I took this really interesting, some kind of wool, I think. I don't know what this exactly is. I got that in a Happy Mail. And the same with these little cute stars. I got them in a Happy Mail as well. They are handmade, and a really, really cool junk journaler from Germany who is following my channel has sent those to me. That was so sweet. When I saw those little stars, I thought, oh my goodness, how sweet is that, and how much work is in such a star. I mean, they are so tiny, and unbelievable. So I wanted to use these here to get some more interest to this area where the lace is on top of the card. I've just glued those to my little pocket thingies, and then I've spritzed some black and white acrylic paint. The white acrylic paint, I've spritzed because I wanted to imitate this snow and get this snowy feeling to my pocket. And the black, I've only spritzed to get a context to this background, because on those little guitar string pockets, there's already black, and I think this makes it a little bit more cohesive. When this was dry, I took some sentiments from my German collection of words and sentences. In German it's called Sprüche und Wörter. That's a German printable that you can find in my Etsy shop. There's also 30% discount at the moment as a little goodie for you. The link is down below in the description box, so if you want to have some German quotes for your junk journal ephemera projects, then you can check that out. And here you can see my dried and finished project. I hope you like this. I'm so in love how this came out, and I was, to be honest, I was a little bit proud that this came out so cool. So I hope you like this. Thank you very much for watching, and please don't forget to check out 49 Dragonfly's channel today. She has another idea on today's prompt, snow and tea or cigarette card. I'm really excited what she did. So please enjoy her video as well, and see you tomorrow.